Okay, welcome back to the Janice Long Review Show, and my guests are Bernie Marsden, David Hepworth and Beth Orton. And Dusty in Memphis is the album that we're discussing now. I know you're a huge Dusty fan because you've spoken about her on my Radio 2 show. Now, this was an album that was a defining moment for her. It was released in '69. Not a huge success at the time, but she'd signed to Atlantic, hadn't she? And she'd gone over to the States.
Yeah. Oh, what? Oh, you want me to say something?
And you got into this album when?
Back in the day, you know, round somebody's house after something or other and hanging out, and someone put it on and blew my mind, you know, probably Jeff Barrett. And I fell in love with this record. You know, I don't remember, if I'm honest, where I first heard it, but just nothing like it. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to bore everyone, but I really like her voice, and the production's amazing. But it is, you know, it is perfect. There's no denying its perfection in a way, and which sort of, now you've told me what you know, sort of disappoints me slightly, because it really is perfect. In fact, it's the antithesis of anything I would ever do necessarily. But I mean, I try.
Well, we better explain what that is, hadn't we?
Well, it was kind of made by mistake, this record.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting story, you know, that she wanted to make a record like Aretha Franklin made records, you know, in Memphis with or Muscle Shoals actually was where it was initially supposed to be done. And so she spoke to Jerry Wexler about doing it, and they booked the musicians. She couldn't make it in time, so they moved it to American recording studios in Memphis, where Elvis made loads of his later records. And then she just couldn't face singing in front of these people.
And in Aretha Franklin's booth.
Oh,
Apparently.
possibly, yeah.
Very
possibly.
intimidating,
Yeah,
very
'cause that was
intimidating.
And so she ended up doing the vocals weeks later in New York.
Which is terribly disappointing, so don't tell the viewers at home. It's really
Let them contemplate that.
Doesn't matter, you know.
Let them contemplate it while we play Son of a Preacher Man.
Billy Ray was a preacher's son. When his daddy would visit, he'd come along. When we gathered around and started talking, Cousin Billy would take me walking. Out through the backyard we go walking. Then he look into my eyes. Lord knows to my surprise, the only boy who could ever reach me was the son of a preacher man. The only one who could ever teach me was the son of a preacher man. Yes, he was. He was. Oh, yes, he was. Being good isn't always easy, no matter how hard I try. When he started sweet talking to me, he'd come and tell me everything is alright. He'd kiss and tell me everything's alright. Then I get away again tonight. The only boy who could ever reach me was the son of a preacher man. The only son who could ever reach me was the son of a preacher man. Yes, he was. He was. Lord knows. Yes, he was. How well I remember the look that was in his eyes, stealing kisses from me on the slide, taking time to make time, telling me that he's all mine, learning from each other's knowing, looking to see how much we've grown. And the only one who could ever teach me was the son of a preacher man. The only boy who could ever reach me was the son of a preacher man. Yes, he was. He was. Oh, yes, he was. The only one who could ever reach me was the sweet doggy son of a preacher man. The only boy who could ever teach me was the stealing son of a preacher man. Sweet loving son of a preacher man.
Son of a Preacher Man from Dusty Springfield and the album Dusty in Memphis. Yes, because she was really insistent, wasn't she, that who she wanted to produce this album.
Well, Wexler was the guy. It was
Martin.
but apparently Jerry Wexler sat down with her and played 100 demos, and she
That's
said,
right.
no.
And then he replayed her 100 demos with all the same ones in, and she went, yes.
Fine. So I think
Mardy.
all you can tell is she was very insecure, wasn't she? In terms of choosing material, in terms of recording material, she was very worried about the whole thing.
Absolutely.
It's a very odd record because at the same time also Atlantic signed Crosby, Stills and Nash and Led Zeppelin.
Didn't she
who
have
did rather better.
But she had a say in the Led Zeppelin signing.
Apparently she tipped them the wink to John Paul Jones, who'd played bass on loads of her early records.
But you know, for all her insecurity and so on and so forth, maybe she was right. You know, maybe she has her own divining rod of like bizarreness that got her to the end result, and this is the end result, and it is a classic record. So you know, fair play. If it's insecurity or if it's just an incredible sense of judgment that can get quite.
So many stories about the making of this album that when you're in the studios all over the world, people say, "Oh, you know what was done here," and you go, well, "Dusty in Memphis." Well, why am I in New York? Why am I in London? Phillips and Stanhope Place. Stuff like that.
Yeah, it wouldn't have the same ring, would it?
Not
Dusty
really.
and St John's Wood.
They put out they put out a CD, I think in 1999, which I luckily managed to pick up somewhere. And all the extra bonus tracks, now there's more bonus tracks than tracks on the album, and they were done with Jeff Barry, and they sound great, and the whole thing is just a masterpiece.
But it took a while, didn't it? Like 20 years or something for it to become a classic.
Yeah.
Well, to get written about, I think that's what happens. You know, people start writing the story of these records, and the myth grows around the record, which has often got nothing to do with the record. You know?
Do you think? Yeah.
No, I mean, and
Yeah.
Lulu was signed to Atco as well
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the same time. There's a couple of pretty decent records
Absolutely.
from that period.
And
as well.
nobody goes around talking about how rootsy Lulu is, do they? No. It's a shame, really. No
Yeah,
fun.
it is a shame.
Are you jealous that I actually saw her?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, fine.
I did. I won a competition
Really?
in Blackpool to go and see Ken Dodd.
Oh, yes.
I won a talent competition, and I got tickets to go and see Ken Dodd at the Opera House in Blackpool, and Dusty was on the bill.
And what we all want to know is what did you do in the talent competition?
I sang "Happiness" by Ken Dodd.
Yeah! We want to hear it.
That'll be for another show. Let's have something from Dusty which is not on this album. This is "You Don't Have to Say You Love Me."
I needed you. Said you would always stay. It wasn't me, changed but you. Now you've gone away. Don't you see that now you've gone? And I'm left here on my own. Then I have to follow, beg you to come home. You don't have to say you love me, just be close enough. You don't have to stay forever, I will understand. Believe me, I can't help love you, but believe me, I'll never tie you down. Left alone with just a memory, life seems dead, so unreal. All that's left is loneliness. There's nothing left to feel. You don't have to say you love me, just be close enough. You don't have to stay forever, I will understand. Leave me. You don't have to say you love me, just be close enough. You don't have to stay forever, I will understand. Believe
Dusty Springfield, and "You Don't Have to Say You Love Me." And we all look on, we're looking at that photograph and all sort of thinking, wow, what an amazing woman, an
It's the
amazing
eyes, isn't
talent.
it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they were always taking the mickey out of her, weren't they? In
Panda eyes.
talking about those eyelashes.
Exquisite voice. Like there is no voice like it.
There's a warmth and a kind of
Yeah,
strange,
absolutely.
cosy sexiness about this record,
Absolutely.
and breakfast in bed and things like this.
Yeah.
Windmills of your
Not
mind. And yes, everybody should have a copy of this album. I think
Certainly
we're
should.
undeniable. We're all agreed.
Oh,
isn't it?
definitely.
Absolutely. But it looked like this will be one day. Thank you, Sugaring Season. Beth Orson, which actually people can enter a competition, win a signed copy, possibly, of this wonderful album. And you're off on a world tour?
Yes.
Yes? Where are you going on your holidays?
I'm going on a world tour with my wife on holiday.
And you're filming.
I'm recording an album
Yeah.
at the moment. I'm in Abbey Road doing some stuff, and I'm doing a blues-based documentary film. Yeah, which is
And
good
that's
fun.
in. Where are you doing it?
Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Mississippi,
Fantastic.
yes.
We have such interesting lives. That's it. Thank you very much indeed. Beth Orson, David Hepworth, and Bernie Marsden. I'll see you soon. Meanwhile, just keep in touch via Twitter or Facebook. Go onto the website. Perhaps win a copy of this. We'll see you soon. Take care.
City blood.
It's George Bingo.
Looking for Adeline Shea?